I, like any good and competent host, added everything to the document approximately 5 minutes ago.
Oh, good, because I just looked for the first time today. So
So we're both doing stellar.
it wasn't just me. I was just looking at the Reddit post. So I'm up to speed.
At least we have that going for ourselves. How are we doing today, Bestie?
Just super.
That doesn't
Just
sound very actually super. Would we like to talk about it?
what is anybody ever actually super? I mean, like, accepting rare circumstances.
I mean, yeah, I've had some days that were pretty damn good, but those were very special.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, would we like to unpack any of that?
Well, I just get tired of saying fine, so I could have gone with like blended or superb, any other S word,
Okay, that's fair.
stellar. There we go.
Is my camera angle weird? I feel like I changed it by accident. Sure, let's go with that. Not like this actually matters, but girl, I have some movie recommendations.
Indeed.
So, and let's make this into like something. I'm gonna ask you a smash or pass adjacent question leading into
Okay.
this. What do you think of Barry Keoghan?
I don't think I know who that is.
He
Let me Google that.
was in that stupid fucking Eternals movie, but he's been in some other like cool art house shit.
Let me see.
I have a friend who's absolutely obsessed with them, and if she's watching slash listening to this podcast episode, you know who you are.
Oh, that guy. No.
Okay, interesting. I found out about this movie. I'm vaguely heard the title and was like, oh, okay, whatever. But then I really started hearing about it because my friend is very much obsessed with Barry Keoghan and thinks he's extremely attractive. Um, and you see a lot of him in this movie. But if you are looking for some weird psychosexual shit, may I recommend Saltburn?
Interesting.
It's also got that guy from Euphoria.
Never watched it.
I haven't either. I just know that's what he like got his start in. I think Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through this guy's pictures thinking maybe if I found the right angle, but no. I did
I
not.
mean,
But that's a firm pass.
that's fair. But yeah, if you want some weird psychosexual, just strangeness, Saltburn. It's directed by Emerald Fennell, who did Promising Young Woman, which is I haven't seen, but I've heard is even more upsetting.
Ah, yes. I think
D-
I started to watch that at some point. That's why I was like, wait, did I start watching that and then never finish it? I feel like I did.
that one's on my watch list, but I know it will not be an enjoyable watch. Um,
She's laying on the floor behind me, just on her back doing air biscuits.
I've noticed that Oliver does this sort of thing that I call mini biscuits, but he only ever does it because I can't hold him like an infant. I have to
Mm-hmm.
hold him like a larger baby or like a toddler almost.
But you're pooping, yeah.
Yeah. And I've noticed when he does that and he has his top paws on either my shoulder or on Kyle's shoulder, he does like just the tiniest little flex. It's not proper biscuiting, but it's just, it's very cute.
Yeah, I was trying to think of another word that would be like, a lesser form of kneading.
Yeah. It's like he's thinking about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've decided to call it mini biscuits.
sure.
But yeah. Also, in the polar opposite direction, film wise, Kyle and I went to go see The Boy and the Heron, which is supposedly, because the man has said this before, supposedly Hayao Miyazaki's last film. And oh my god, 5 stars. It was so good. I like we caught. I don't think anywhere is going to be showing it anymore. We caught one of the last screenings near us, which is fantastic. But like I just any way you can get your hands on this, watch it. It's incredible.
I had a whole day and time picked out where I was gonna go, and then stuff came up, and then I
Oh
didn't.
no. Yeah, no, cannot recommend it enough. And just makes me even more excited that at the time we are recording this, we're going to be talking about another Miyazaki movie tomorrow night. So, yay. But by the time you are receiving this, I will have already apologized to you about the accidental skipped stream.
Yeah, I was dying.
It happens to the best of us. But yeah, The Boy and the Heron was so, so good. Voice cast was, as always, with the Miyazaki dubs, but this one in particular was stacked to an utterly insane level because there were so many people who had already, like, done Miyazaki movies that were just sort of, like, being drawn back, which, like, it's just added a whole nother layer to it, in my opinion. Like, oh, all these big names coming back for, like, and the absolute last thing in the world that I would ever want to do is wish death on Hayao Miyazaki. But if this does turn out to actually be his last film, could not have given us something more perfect. So,
Good.
highly, highly recommend The Boy and the Heron. It was freaking excellent. And yeah, Robert Pattinson put his entire pussy into that performance.
Interesting.
Love him. So those are my movie recommendations for y'all on this fine Wednesday when we're recording this, Friday when you're seeing it.
Yeah. Assuming you watch it when it comes out.
Assuming you watch it when it comes out. I don't know your life.
Yeah. Okay.
But speaking of the movies and movie theaters, this is one of the things we have to discuss is a Reddit post that I happened upon just in my own personal browsing of the site. I'm sending the link to the chat now. Please give me a yes. So this is a post from r/facepalm, which is a screenshot of a tweet, I'm assuming, where they have cropped out the user for good reason, because frankly, if I knew this person's handle, I would go harass them. But the tweet contains a photo of a movie theater and there's a little pile of like popcorn that seems to have been perhaps spilled on the aisle, but the caption is, "Before I leave movie theaters, I always dump out my leftover popcorn. Does anyone else do this, or am I weird?" And I would like to say, yes, OP, you are so unbelievably weird. Who does that?
Horribly rude.
Horribly rude.
Like, I not just to like harass them, but I want to know who this person is because I want them to explain like
Yeah.
what the thinking is. Like,
What is wrong with you?
Like, oh, so that they can sweep it up? Well, they wouldn't have to sweep it up if you just put it directly in the garbage if you're not going to eat the rest.
Yeah. Like, I worked at a movie theater, and, like, why? Why would you do this? We already didn't get paid enough.
But
The only reason I put up with that job for more than, like, a single summer was because the free movies thing was kind of nice.
I mean, the only potential benefit I could see is your bucket is slightly lighter when you take it to the...
Yeah, who cares?
Like, that's the only thing I can potentially, like...
No, total, absolute bullshit. If you do that, take a long, hard look in the mirror. Why are you like this?
Yeah, I don't... It's, again, not just the audacity and the fact that they're thinking it's weird, maybe, not just, like, horrifically assholery.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just illogical. That really bothers me. Because if there's no benefit to it, really, it requires extra effort on your part to dump it out and walk over it than it is to just throw it away. Like,
no, it's bizarre. Why?
It's more effort for you and way more work for somebody else, and it's just,
Which, like, obviously that's why it was posted on that particular subreddit, because, like, yeah, that's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but, like, are there really people out there like this?
Yeah, I mean, part of me hopes it was kind of like a joke post where they had like, filled their popcorn by accident and took a picture, and they were like, "Oh, does anybody else just dump it out?"
Yeah, everyone's gonna get pissed, but like, also, why, man? Like, why?
Yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Like, dropping it and being like, oh, I can't believe I dropped my popcorn everywhere, and be like, I'll just pretend I dumped it and it'll be funny because they'll think it's so ridiculous. Like I could see that.
I don't
You
know.
know, if I did something like that, I would want to put clarification. I did not do this on purpose. I am just a klutz. Like,
Yeah. Um. Sorry, I just got slightly distracted by this. Your hair does not seem to be blue anymore at all.
oh, my hair doesn't hold color at all. It washed out so quickly somehow.
Fascinating.
Yeah, no, it's just blonde with the pink patches from the temporary dye again.
So I guess what we have to do is we have to dye your hair and then bleach on top of it again.
Yeah,
Because that
yeah,
seems to be like the only option.
yeah. Because it looks blonde in certain parts, but my lighting in here isn't great. You can see it's sort of pink, a little bit. Yeah. No, and I really tried this time. I bought a conditioner that's supposed to like seal the cuticle and lock the color in, and no. My hair was blue for like 2 weeks.
That's so disappointing.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna try green next?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until for like a week and a half, like right before classes start, because it'd be a waste to do it and just be on break.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try the green next. I'm sure it'll wash out just as quickly.
Big sad. My deepest condolences.
I'm meaning to Google it and be like, are there just some people whose hair doesn't hold dye for whatever reason? Like maybe it's too fine, or I don't know.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you. Next question is something that I am stealing from the podcast Help, I Sexted My Boss, which is a very funny podcast that I highly recommend everybody listen to. But the question is, do you wash like new clothes and towels, etc., before you use them?
I feel like we've talked about this before.
It's possible. I towels probably yeah, unless it's like if it's a dish towel, I don't really care. I'll just like a towel that I'm using on my body, I would probably wash first.
Uh-huh.
But like anything else, no, I don't bother.
Well, like a dish towel, you're wiping it on clean dishes.
Whatever. It's
Like
fine.
it's been in a warehouse, like thrown on random shelves in a truck, in a box. It's been touched by many human hands. It's covered in chemicals from the factory. It is teeming with germs and chemicals. And you're putting that right on your clean dishes that you then eat off of.
Okay, so maybe I should start, but I've never done that.
Yeah, I won't wear anything before I wash it.
Nope. Mm-mm. I like get home from work and my like shirt that I ordered will be on my doorstep and I will go into my apartment, open the package, shower, and then put the shirt on.
Nope, that sounds horribly gross to me. Because I can smell the chemicals.
And here's the thing. I've said this on the podcast many a time. Maybe I am just gross, but yeah.
I mean, it's a thing a lot of people do, but
I'm often too excited to wear the thing to wait.
That's why if I'm that excited, I just immediately do laundry.
And maybe I would do that if I didn't have like coin laundry in my apartment.
Yeah, but no, like when I like run races and I get a new t-shirt or whatever, I usually go pick up my race packet the day before the race. So then I go home and I do laundry so I can wash it. That way the next day after you're on the race, I can put on the nice clean t-shirt or whatever it is. And it's all soft, it smells like laundry detergent, and it's delightful.
I mean, it hasn't killed me yet.
Well, no, it's not about like whether it kills you. You know, lots of things don't kill you. That doesn't mean they're good or pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stand the chemical smell, and I have occasionally, like, broken out in hives because of the chemicals they treat stuff with.
Oh, see, that's just not a problem for me.
Yeah, no, I gotta wash that off. I can't be messing with it. Now, there are occasional exceptions. Like, if you remember when we saw Sweeney Todd, I immediately put on that zip-up hoodie I bought.
Yes.
Because my jacket was completely soaked through and my shirt underneath was completely soaked through.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
I was just so cold, I didn't care. It's like, this is dry.
It happens.
There are exceptions to the rule, but yeah, I just can't. Plus, if it's like clothing you buy in a store, maybe other people have tried it on and had their armpits all up in it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, I can't help it. I look at a thing and I see all the things that it has touched before I had touched it.
Yeah, I don't know why I just don't think about that.
Oh, oh my God.
I'm hunting through our questions document.
Oh, I forgot I had a thing that I wanted to.
Oh, do tell.
Um, no, I don't know if no, rant isn't the right word. I
You
think
have
to
some
it.
thoughts.
Yeah, that So I usually do trivia on Monday nights.
Yes.
So trivia Monday night, and there's always a visual round where you have to name like movies, TV shows, whatever from like little clips.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Nicolas Cage movie, and
Let's fucking go.
I didn't know it.
No.
I was so upset. I was trying to express to my friend, like, you don't understand how upsetting this is to me. Like,
I feel it.
we are working on becoming the foremost experts in Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no, I feel it big time. That's so sad.
Like, I have seen so many of his movies, and yet this is one I have no idea. Like, didn't look remotely familiar. And she was like, "Well, it says the year's 1994." I'm like, "Do you know how many movies he comes out with every year?"
Do you know how little that narrows it down?
Like, when I looked it up afterward, he had 3 movies that came out in '94. Like,
Slay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he stays busy.
And it was just like upsetting me so much.
No, that's so valid.
Yeah, only one team out of 16 got that one though. It was like a rom-com called It Could Happen to You.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the vastness of Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have done how many of his movies on stream at this point?
At least 15.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to math out. November, 2 Decembers plus Renfield. Like,
yeah, at least 15.
And plenty more that we've seen that we haven't done on the stream, and yet, I mean, I think I've heard of this movie. I just know nothing about it. Knew nothing about it still.
I didn't even know the name, so.
Yeah, and it was very upsetting to me. But also, he looked like baby in it. He was just tiny baby, and he was a police officer, and that made me wonder, how many has he been a cop in?
Probably a lot.
Yeah, that was. She's like, well, it's one that he's a cop in. I'm like,
do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? No, I feel that so hard.
I was like, yeah, you know all these Nicolas Cage movies that are like, you know, the big blockbusters, like your national treasures.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you know how many movies he does every year that nobody ever talks about, seemingly?
No, absolutely.
I told her about like Mom and Dad, and she was very surprised.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I was feeling very bad about myself for not knowing it. You know?
Understandable. I got a question for you from my long-standing document of just random questions that I've been keeping ever since we started doing this podcast. Is this thing real? The thing in question being Tommy Wiseau. Not is he a real person, but like, is he actually, like, do we think it's a bit? Is this like some of the most elaborate performance art? Or is he just like that?
Oh, that guy. I was like, wait, who?
The Room guy.
Yeah. I knew that name and I just couldn't come up with the face. Yeah, that guy.
Like, I truly don't know.
I think it is him.
Yeah?
I think I don't know, like, and you can't really provide a reason for it.
And that's the thing, that you also can't research this man. There is no information on this guy out there. The amount of money I would pay to know every detail of Tommy Wiseau's life story, insane. Absolutely insane. Like, he so clearly has just the most Eastern European accent you can imagine. But he, like, tells people he's from New Jersey. I want to know all of the details of this man's life. And he's never going to share them.
I mean, I feel like it's just intuition. It just feels like, yes, this is just his vibe.
Yeah, I feel like you would have had to have cracked by now, I guess is the thing.
Yeah, yeah, because and that's the thing. It's like, oh, I feel like everybody who pretends to be something they're not gets caught. But what about all the ones that don't get caught and we just don't know?
It's the same thing with how we're probably never going to hear about the perfect crime
Yes.
because they got away with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's my
so
thing. I continually go back and forth on this because every time I'm like, no, this has to be real. Like, there's no way you could fake this. I'm like, but like, what if he
sure.
is though?
But when you're famous and in the public eye in any respect, like you have to have some awareness of the
Yeah,
kind of image you're projecting. And so certain people are just like really hyper aware of their image, and for some reason this was the persona that he wanted
yeah.
people to perceive. I mean, and he was dedicated enough to it.
Because I mean, frankly, he's certainly had people talking.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. And, yeah.
I mean, if you're kind of looking for publicity at any cost, that's a fucking way to do it, my guy.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think you have to, if that's the goal, you got to play to your strengths.
Yeah, and
Like,
if your strength is whether or not it's real, being weird as fuck in public,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
go for it.
he's not what you would call classically handsome. So there's going to be
No,
a lot
not
of things.
remotely.
There's not a lot of things he can get away with that a more like attractive, charismatic actor could.
Yeah, so maybe you gotta, like, if you know that, like, okay, my face is not gonna sell,
Yeah.
like, as, maybe as unfortunate as that is, or whatever that says about our society, my face isn't gonna sell, I gotta do something else to get people talking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me.
That's my thing. Like, I can convince myself of either option so completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really, And I
Yeah, it's
want to make myself pick one just for the sake of the discussion. Like, there's no real point to me, like, forcing myself to, like, choose, because, like, frankly, we're never gonna fucking know. But, a part of me kind of wants it to be the most elaborate piece of performance art. Because it's funnier almost.
yeah,
Like, man, he really got us all.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people who like go their entire lives hiding some dark secret and it doesn't come out until after they're gone. And you're like,
Yeah.
you know, and so it's possible.
But also,
I mean, I hate to compare him to like a Jimmy Savile, and especially for him, there were things in his lifetime that were talked about, but he got away with it all because
Yeah, no,
most of
that's the
it
thing.
really did not teach till he
Like,
was
that's a example of like a heinous one, but like
yeah.
insane things that people were hiding have absolutely, like, there is precedent, like they've come out after the person has died.
Yeah. So basically, just we know it's possible.
Yeah. But also, is it not so funny to think that just this random guy, whoever from where the fuck ever in some post-Soviet state, just managed to, like, annoy his way into Hollywood with whatever money he's got?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think like he would have to keep up the persona anytime he was in public,
Yeah.
like around anybody except maybe a couple of close like friends,
And I
family
mean, that's the
members.
thing. It's not that he pops up all that often.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like, he's got to interact with people even if he's
Yeah.
not, you know? I mean, he's got to be that way if he goes to the grocery store.
So then maybe that would be too much work.
Because what if somebody was like, I saw this guy and he was just like a perfectly normal,
Yeah, and he was just a
pleasant.
dude.
Yeah. So he's got to keep it up everywhere he goes.
I think that might be enough to swing me. I think
Yeah.
he is just like that, which, God, again, I would pay so much money to know every detail of this man's life story.
Yeah. I think it is more fun to believe that it is an act, but I think it's more likely that it isn't.
Can we think of anyone where we think it is an act? Any sort of famous person who's known for being odd or just
Hmm.
anything that we think might be BS?
I mean, I could list a bunch of politicians.
Oh, yeah, I know that so many of them don't believe their own bullshit. They're borderline cult leaders.
Yeah, they just came up with what they thought would sell to the
Mm-hmm.
voters, and that's the part they play. Actors, though, I don't know. I mean, I feel like not necessarily being weird per se, but a lot of actors that seem very nice, and then you find out that they're actually horrific human beings who are mean. You know?
Yeah, which, like, is the shitty version.
Yeah. But I also think that there's potentially actors who act like in the opposite way, act like they're really tough and mean, but then they're actually really pleasant because it's that playing to the strengths thing again.
Yeah, like if you like are the big fucking burly dude, like I feel like it might be very easy to convince people that you're like, oh, tough guy, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love John Cena. He is
Yeah,
a regular human being.
he is
Couldn't care.
granted like he holds the world record for granting the most like Make a Wish program wishes
Yep, yep.
ever. It's like 650 or something insane.
Yeah. They call him up, he's immediately on a plane. It's
Rock
wonderful.
on, my guy.
Yeah, what a delight.
Indeed.
But yeah. So I feel like that's more typical is more like nice versus mean in the public eye. I don't know about like I'm trying to think of somebody who's weird that I think wouldn't be that weird. Like I think David Lynch is David Lynch.
Yeah, I absolutely think he's just like that.
You know, I mean he's a weird guy, but he's that is him.
Yeah, no, that's definitely completely authentic. And like there are some of these like insane sort of like just billionaire figures where I'm like you can't
Mm.
possibly be this fucking divorced from reality.
Yeah.
Like fucking Mark Zuckerberg, for example. Like he has to know that he looks like that, right? Because when
Yeah.
he was in college and like the sort of rogue like the young tech startup guy, like he just looked like a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like he didn't always look like a lizard.
Blink if you're not a lamp.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know what I mean? I feel like you can't go from just being like a college student who made a website and very much looking like that, like just some guy in jeans and a t-shirt and a hoodie
Mm-hmm.
with like a very like, typical early 2000s, floppy haircut to this.
So what is it exactly that about his appearance that you're
Like just the weird bang thing he has going on, the like again, his he's done something to his face. I can just about
uh,
guarantee that. Like he doesn't look human.
he looks like he has no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. Like he looks like he looks like a next generation like Star Trek like android.
Mm.
And like
Yeah.
that thing that like fucking photo of him in Hawaii where he's like surfing and he just has like the most sunscreen that anyone has ever put on his face. Like because like he has like appeared on the news before just as like again just some guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can't go from just some guy, like literally just a dude,
Yeah.
to this without realizing.
Yeah, although I guess maybe when you make as much have as much money as he does, like you have the luxury of just not caring.
You do have the luxury of just not caring, but I don't know. maybe it would be different if I was suddenly like, the CEO of like one of the of like some crazy successful new website or app or fucking whatever. But like, I feel as though I would still like know how to look like a normal person.
I
And
don't
maybe this
know.
is just me being judgmental and mean, but also Facebook is destroying the fabric of our society, so I really kind of don't care.
Yeah, I don't really want to be in the position of defending him either.
Yeah,
But like at least his face, like I know people make fun of him for not being very emotionally expressive,
which
but
like whatever, man. Like sometimes that's just how you are
like yeah, I
for
mean,
any number of reasons.
it's not necessarily that a person doesn't experience the emotions. It's like sometimes your body is just built like I have an overly expressive face. I know that I do. Like it just moves all over by itself. And then
Mm-hmm.
some people have faces where they just don't really have, I don't know, as much musculature. Like I don't know what makes the
Yeah, I don't know.
difference. These just aren't very expressive. And you know, that's just the way his face is. And that's okay. Um and he's just a kind of a weird dude, and that's okay.
But like, do you really just like not know?
Yeah, I don't actually. I'm trying to think about. Is he aware? Hmm.
Yeah, I just
I mean, he's got to be because it's not like he doesn't see the stories about him.
yeah, and again, it's not like he's never looked like just a guy. Like if he was like some like the crazy son of some billionaire who's like never had to interact with another person just like on his own essentially without like the barrier of status, it would make more sense. I don't really know all that much about his background. I'm sure he was probably pretty well off having gone to Harvard and all that shit, but like he was a dude, just a guy
Hmm.
who like again wore like just normal dude stuff and like had a normal dude haircut. I
I,
don't know.
so I would explain it one of two ways. Like with the hair as an example, either he just genuinely likes it and doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
And I mean like
Like
whatever. There's some like kind of weird sort of like I know like the really short blunt bangs. Like people do it for artsy reasons, which like all right, yeah, pop off. It's not for me, but like whatever. If you like it, if it's your vibe.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like there have been plenty of things that, you know, like when I dyed half of my hair blue, some people were like, "Why would you do that?" You know, like
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you don't like it because I like it, right? So it could be one of those situations where it's like, no, I don't care if people in the public think it's weird. I like it, and I'm just gonna have it that way. So that's
Yeah, I
option
mean sure,
one.
whatever.
Option two is maybe this is his way of trying to like stay relevant and in the public eye for things that have nothing to do with.
And that's the thing. I feel like and I think there definitely are people who do this who like make sort of very bold like risky fashion choices and maybe don't always pull it off to
Mhm.
sort of curate the image of like ooh eccentric tech billionaire.
Yeah. What I think too sometimes a lot of things that are considered to be like high fashion and stuff
Like
like
that
that.
crazy guy who's like replacing his blood with his son so he can reverse age or whatever.
That's not how that works.
It's not remotely how that works. It's some crazy tech billionaire, but he like is just like, they do like the photos for the magazine. He's like just in the kitchen at his house, but he has like a green mesh shirt on. I'm like, there's no way. Like, you are doing this to curate an image. You have to be. So, like, things like that, I'm like, there's no way that's real.
I don't know. Because if you look at the stuff that's like in Fashion Week and stuff, you know, it's nothing I can imagine anybody just wearing out in the world, you know, like in the Midwest or
Yeah, I suppose. But, like, a 45-year-old man?
is he gay?
No.
Hmm. That makes a big difference, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. It's just Yeah, it feels incredibly intentional, like curating the image of like, ooh, I'm this eccentric tech genius or fucking whatever.
I mean, I think everybody thinks that way at least a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously you think about the image that you want to project, like, it's why I dress the way that I do, but some of it, or I guess it feels over the top coming from billionaires, because, you know, fuck them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're also just people. Again, not trying to defend billionaires because I billionaires shouldn't exist. But people are people, and they do people things regardless of how much money they have. People gonna people.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can't really think of any, like, actors where I'm like, I don't know about this. Or, like,
Musicians,
none really spring to mind. Oh,
yeah.
man.
I think of what other people are famous people. Different kinds of jobs make people famous.
See,
Yeah,
you
I
said
can't think of,
musician. I feel like there's gotta be something there.
yeah. Oh, there's plenty of weird musicians. I don't know if I would think any of them are like putting on an act though. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
hmm, comedians. Like, you think Mitch Hedberg was really like that all the time?
I'm gonna say probably yes. Unfortunately, also probably had something to do with drugs.
Well, yes. Yes, that's how he died. Which,
Which,
by the
like, you
way,
know, you hate to see it.
we were talking about comedy in my one of my classes this past fall, and so I showed them some Mitch Hedberg, and
Nice.
one of them actually referenced it like in their final paper in the class, and I was like,
Hell
"Oh,
yes.
no."
Hell yes, you love to see it.
Like Dr. Brooks showed us Mitch Hedberg in class, and he was still got another one."
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I don't, there really is nothing coming to mind.
Yeah, I mean the few examples I can think of people that I might categorize as weird, I think they really are just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Um, oh, just a random update that I remembered. Did you see that OFMD got canceled?
Did
Our
I?
our flag means death got canceled.
I think I already knew that.
Which, knowing the actual massive spoiler that I do know, serves you right, bitch.
Huh. So there's not going to be another season.
No, there is not.
Well, that's. No, I think I did know that. I don't know. My brain is messing there.
Yeah, I saw a lot of strong criticism from the corner of Twitter that I was on, or that I am on regarding that show. So, like, yeah, I kind of really am not even all that interested in watching the second season, knowing what I know now. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. But like, if you're gonna do that, don't be surprised when people are mad and when that impacts your ratings.
It was a hard season to watch.
Yeah. So, fun times all around. Part of me kind of wants to do the worsening just because I have a lot of cosplay stuff to talk about, which is exciting for me. Unless we have anything else that we feel the need to bring up. Yeah. One of the main way that I'm worse this week. Hold up. Is that I've moved to the painting phase of my armor.
Nice.
I spent a ridiculous amount of time like taping off everything that was supposed to remain white. There are still some minor imperfections that I'm going to be painting over with like actual like acrylic paint and brush because this is just like paint and primer in one. I have these that are gonna get attached once this actually gets painted and glossed. And then this is my favorite piece of the armor so far. Is found this super cool, like, glitter spray paint for the... Oh, I gotta line these up properly. There we go. For, like, the crystals, whatever the hell these are supposed to be. I don't actually know. But, yeah, I'm very proud of how this turned out. It looks awesome, and I sealed it with, like, clear enamel so I can touch it without getting glitter everywhere.
Yeah, it's the worst part of glitter stuff.
But I'm so excited, and I have to get, like... I have, like, leather straps that I'm gonna use to, like, make it so I can actually wear it properly. I have to get padding for the inside of this, and I have to get, like, fake fur to make the kind of mini cape that he has going on, and there's some of it, like, there's little patches of it, like, underneath each of these layers. I'm having a lot of fun working on this. I'm having a very good time. It's, like, all I want to do.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So that's one of the ways that I'm worse this week. The other way that I'm worse this week is, guess how many moons I have in Super Mario Odyssey?
Oh god. I forget how many there are. A few hundred? A couple hundred?
Over 725.
Ah, that's a lot of moons. Yeah.
I have been playing so much Mario Odyssey. I feel like I'm in college again because I was obsessed with that game my junior year.
Yeah, I was playing Zelda the other night and a little thing popped up on the screen that said Bridget's playing Super Mario Odyssey.
Hell yeah. Absolutely love it.
Playing at the same time.
Yeah. Again, something about cycling through a bunch of video games when we were doing that one stream, and also just the fact that I have recently picked up my Switch again, it's just like... gamer girl brain activated to the highest degree.
Nice, yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to the fact that I have a 3-day weekend coming up. Martin Luther King Day.
Ah! I was trying to figure out what the holiday was. Like, I don't even know what day it is. I was trying to look at the date.
And in things that are actively making my life worse, I'm getting another fucking cold sore.
It sucks, man.
It happens to me all the time. I don't know why I'm like this.
Have you tried taking lysine? Like
No, I should. I forgot what it was called in my defense, and I forgot about it until this started percolating on my face again.
Yep, you can get a bottle of the 1,000 milligram tablets at like Target.
Writing this down.
So 1,000 milligram tablets, not the 500 ones, the 1,000 milligrams. And just take 1,000 milligrams a day every day to prevent them. But when you have it, you can take 3,000 a day to help it go away more quickly.
Thanks, Mom.
I did a lot of research on it, and I've been.
So there's a thing that's like actually straight up making my life worse, which kind of isn't the point of the segment, but I wanted to bitch about it anyway.
Yeah, Dad, I've been taking lysine for 17 years. I just did that math.
Damn, girl.
It's an amino acid. It's good for you.
Sure, I'll listen to you.
And then it won't work, and be like, "How dare you?"
Oh, and the final way that I'm worse is that I got a package. I have to unplug for just 1 second.
Okay. I guess I'll just sit here and entertain the people. She said that she had to unplug, but she did not say how long. Okay, it was quick.
Briefly setting that off to the side as not to spoil
people for a while.
Hold on. You may now say words.
Oh, I was saying words to fill the time while you were away.
Love it. I hope this doesn't get this video taken down.
What exactly is it, though?
It's the Gildo.
Show the actual thing, it'll be taken down.
Okay, so then I'm not gonna do that, but, one, it comes with a cool ass, like, it comes with, like, a Ghost logo pin, which is fucking sick, because it's gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
And it also comes with, I think this is absolutely hilarious, divorce papers.
So like if somebody gets it and then their spouse is like jealous or whatever, that they
Yeah.
have it. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's another way that I am so much worse this week. And I display it proudly. And I still have a boyfriend, which is cool. So,
it just arrived today.
no, actually, I've had it for 2 days and he still hasn't broken up with me, so I think I'm safe.
Have you decided where you're displaying it?
Right now, it's just on one of the shelves in my office because what if someone comes over who's not cool?
How do you have lame people coming over?
I mean, I have parents. They don't come over often, but they do exist.
Yeah.
And, like, not even that they're necessarily the lamest people in the world. I just, I don't know if they would want to know. And that's fine. We can keep it that way.
You know what? I'll speak on their behalf. They don't.
Yeah. So there you have it. So we're still kind of figuring that one out. But yeah, it lives in my office for now. And yes, I spend a stupid amount of money on it, but I really don't care.
Yeah, YOLO and all that.
YOLO and all that indeed. But yeah, I also like that just the whole evil Bible vibe we've got going on here.
Yeah, that's why at first I thought it was going to be some sort of like spell book or like satanic.
No, I wish. I feel so compelled to buy like almost every single piece of Infestisumam merch that gets released because like the album was released on my birthday. Like I feel such a connection to it, and also it just bangs so hard. Yeah.
I think it's a fun choice of packaging. I mean, I think obviously the intent was like the blaspheming,
And we love the blaspheming.
But I think it also has that nice added benefit though of like just kind of blending in, like you could put it in your bookshelf.
Mm-hmm. And who would know?
Yeah. So
well, I mean,
nice.
it does, like, here's the thing. Even if I were to put it on the bookshelf, it does say phallus on the side of it, so, like, there's that. But if you weren't paying too much attention, whatever. And also, like, there's tons of weird ancient texts that have sexual themes.
Yeah.
Could be old Saxon poetry for all you know.
Yeah, I don't think
for the uninitiated.
I don't think anyone's going to be like reading spines on the bookshelf and be like, I bet there's a dildo in that book.
A dildo with a face.
Like you might think it's, pornographic writing or something, but not.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So I guess it blends well. You can also say that. And yeah, I think that's it, honestly.
Okay.
That's how I'm worse this week. You're welcome.
Like I say, that's it, even though that was like 10 or so minutes of worsening.
We've had like a worsening that took up an entire episode before. As long as we don't do that every episode, we're golden. So what have you got for me, bestie?
I feel like most of my worsening in the last several months has fallen into one of two categories.
Yeah, anime or 3D printing.
Yeah. That continues.
At what point do you know each other too well? Asking for a friend.
Well, you can see my first 3D printer back there. I don't know what to do with it. And I think I might try to sell it because I don't need it anymore. Because I replaced it.
I would say go for it.
Even though I only had it for 3 weeks before. It's got a brand new print head and everything. So it's just kind of sitting back there because it was in the way over here. Anyway, yeah, this, the bigger one, my monstrosity over here, stopped working last week.
Are you?
And, yeah. It was only like 2 weeks old at that point when it stopped working. Got a clog in it, and I had to disassemble like the entire thing. But the reason this is, I mean, I don't want to say good, but silver lining is I learned a lot about the inner workings of it and the inside parts and how everything fits together. And I got it all put back together.
So I mean,
the only problem is that in the process of figuring that out, I tinkered with some things that maybe I shouldn't, and now the auto bed leveling doesn't work. But I mean, I just printed this. It's just a little lid for something right for this, and it looks perfect. So who needs
Okay.
leveling? This is actually for a little thing I designed. I got to print out the rest of it. But
Yay, that's so fun.
to put my little they're sitting around these little sandpaper discs that I put on my like little sander thingy to hold
Cute.
those. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh my god, I
Um,
love it.
yeah, printing things I designed is so freaky.
That would give me insane feelings of power.
Yeah, it's like I just brought this thing into existence. Um, but yeah, so I spent a lot of time on 3D printing forums, so much time, and I had contacted the company about my auto leveling issues, sent them a video of the problem and everything, and they're like insisting that they don't see anything wrong. I'm
Okay.
like, dude, this nozzle is coming down directly on this plastic switch and melting it. I don't think it's supposed to melt itself. And they're
Dude.
still saying they don't see a problem. So I took to Reddit and I was writing my first ever Reddit post.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of you.
So that's another way I'm worse, is that now apparently I'm going to be doing that as a thing. Um, but as I was writing, like, like, I realized I was speaking 3D printer, and that was like a revelation moment, where I was like,
Very proud.
I'm down the offset measurement switch, and the module calibration works fine, but then it's
Wow. Okay. No, that's
so
definitely worse, and I'm very impressed.
yeah, I'm speaking the language a lot more now.
Oh,
And
actually, I had a moment like that at work the other day where I realized, like, oh, I know how to restore antique machinery now, like pretty well.
yeah,
I'm doing a double power grid because I finished the first one that I was supposed to restore already, and like it's perfect, and I'm having fun.
yeah, stuff sneaks up on you
Doesn't it though?
because you're like, oh, I'll just do, you know, this one little thing or that one little thing. Like, if I look back a month or a month and a half ago, I never even touched a 3D printer.
Yeah.
And now I can name every part in the print head and like disassemble them, put them back together.
Oh, and
I can
here's something that's just been driving me crazy, and I hate this. And practicing things does make you better at them.
yeah.
It sucks. I hate
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yes, I know you have to be good at everything when you first try
Yes,
it.
I hate practice, and I like being perfect.
It's funny because practice makes perfect.
Yeah, and I hate that that's true because I've been seeing that lately.
Yeah, which
I
you
can
know,
sort of do this first slide in Du Hast now. I hate this. I hate that I have to practice things in order to get better at them, and it slowly works.
but that's why it's like as frustrating as it has been to try to fix this problem, because it's been like 5, 6 days that I've
Mm.
been working on this problem. Like, I learned all this stuff that I didn't know before, and if it hadn't, broken itself, I wouldn't have known these things probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it was knowledge that I kind of needed to acquire anyway. It sucked. I got real frustrated. There was a lot of swearing,
Happens to the best of us.
but yeah, so now I think even though it won't level anymore, again, this turned out okay, so I think I'm okay to print bigger stuff, and hopefully it'll be fine. Back in business here. Which is
Sweet.
real exciting because actually when it clogged and things started going wrong was when I was trying to print the friends part of our sign.
Oh no.
So I have the fighting and I have the width, but the friends is what clogged it.
Oh
But I
no.
think it was because right before that I printed with TPU for the first time, and
Mm.
I don't think my printer likes it. So I think it was really that caused it. But I can get back to printing the sign now because again, literally just today I worked out the last of the kinks. I think, except for the leveling.
Fingers crossed.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's
worst that
fun.
way. Yeah. Um, I am down to 3 episodes of Black Clover, so I've been avoiding watching them.
Understandable.
Yeah, I just don't like it when things end. Same reason I never watched the last couple episodes of My Hero Academia yet. Um, I did rewatch Zom 100 because they finally posted the last 3 episodes of the season, and man, I love that show.
Nice.
And I started to watch Berserk.
I'm like never gonna see you again.
That one's only like 26 total episodes.
Oh, I guess I'm just thinking of how fucking thick the manga is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it didn't cover the full manga because it was only 2 seasons.
Beats me.
Unless it just really condensed it. I don't know. But yeah, it's not gonna be a super long watch. But man, is it depressing. And on Crunchyroll, you have to push little things saying, yes, I am 18 or older before they let you watch.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
just in the first 5 minutes of the first episode, there are so many corpses, just so many corpses. A guy gets his teeth punched out, and when I say teeth, I mean literally all of his teeth go flying.
Cute.
There's so much blood and gore. There's child murder in the first episode. There's just like, yeah.
So they really they throw you right in there. Here's a way that I'm gonna become worse, and I don't know if I think probably forgot to mention this. One of the things that I got for Christmas from Kyle was a box set of the first couple volumes of what's it? The Ancient Magus' Bride, which is it's a monster fucker romance anime manga. Blech. Monster fucker romance manga. So that's coming. That's gonna embed itself into my psyche.
Oh, it continues. Yeah,
I think that just it continues is like a pretty solid summation of our entire friendship.
Things continue to happen.
We continue to be in scenarios.
Yes. I almost wore my I am constantly in situation shirt today.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've broken out that one. I'll have to revive her soon. But with all of that being said, I think that's where we're going to leave you. So, as always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at brkelly98 and at @AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider subscribing to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!